Hey guys, so I already have my makeup done because I just wasn't feeling like doing makeup on camera today. I hope everyone forgives me. But I am using these new Sigma lipsticks that I got today. It's in the shade New Mod, this lipstick. And I'm also wearing one of the new eyeshadow palettes from Colourpop's like Christmas. They do like these sets and they sell this like 6-pack of £9 palettes. I'm gonna show them just probably on screen. So I'm wearing the brown one today. And honestly, one of my favorite Colourpop formulas that I've tried in a really long time. For some reason, this one, like these eyeshadows just feel extra scrumptious. So the shimmers are very beautiful. The mattes blend like a dream. I don't know what happened. And basically the rest of my base is all Glossier. So those links will be in the description in case you want to buy anything and help this channel out. Subscribe with that bell, like, comment for engagement. All of my other social medias will be in the description along with my other YouTube channels and my TikTok. Also, today's video is very kindly sponsored by Burger, who are a phone case brand and they make just very fashionable trendy phone cases. So thank you to Burger for sponsoring today's video, and the deal that you guys are getting today with me, you can buy 4 Burger cases and get 2 completely free. I think that's incredible. You can match them with all your different outfits for different moods of the day. I think that's incredible. Plus you get an extra 15% off when you use my promo code AngelikaX15 at checkout. That's burger.com/Angelika, code AngelikaX15 at checkout. So you get 4 cases plus 2 free and then 15% off everything. That sounds like an incredible deal to me. I received some Burger cases a while back. I've been testing these out for a few months now and they look stunning. They're like these beautiful designs that are super trendy and cool, and like the colors are very nice, the patterns are beautiful. Other than being super gorgeous, they're also very protective. There are more than 100 unique designs that you can pick from, and they don't just do phone cases, they also do laptop cases, you know, AirPod cases, the whole lot. So you can even like match up your different devices, which I think is kind of cool. So like I said, you guys can go on burger.com/Angelika and use code AngelikaX15 at checkout to get 4 cases with 2 free and 15% off everything. Thank you to Burger for sponsoring today's video, and let's get into Dramageddon 3.0, or what some would call it, Karmageddon. I already did Dramageddon 1 and Dramageddon 2. Those will be linked in the description with everything else, and obviously I have to finish off the series. This is probably the last of like the main chunk of drama. Dramageddon 2.0 that I talked about, which was basically By Sister, ended end of 2019. It was actually November 2019, and that's where like it came to a peak and then halted. Like that was it. That's where it ended. And then we had a few months of silence. So like I said, the Jeffree Star series ended, they sold out their makeup, they made millions of dollars. People in this time started digging into Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star because it felt very dodgy. Like, you're telling me they're like, basically people's mindset in this time was, Tati comes out with this video, right, with By Sister, and James Charles comes out with his evidence. And in this whole time, Shane and Jeffree were both supporting Tati, like heavily on her side, right? The video drops, James Charles comes back with no more lies, everyone's on his side, and all of a sudden, Shane Dawson and Jeffree are completely silent. They're not supporting Tati, they're not seen together with Tati, Tati's not seen with them, they're not talking to each other at all, from what it looks like, honestly. And then they do this series, right, which was supposed to focus on the By Sister drama, but it doesn't. It actually only really mentions it in the last episode, in the first like 10 minutes, and it's very lukewarm. They're not actually defending Tati, they're just like, oh, ah, ooh, but they're not like being, sorry Phoebe, yes, that was very dramatic, I know, I'm so sorry, I awoke Phoebe from her sleep with my oohs and ahs. But it wasn't really them defending Tati, right? It was them just like reacting to the drama, and then let's go back to selling makeup. So people start digging into Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star just out of pure like, what is going on? What are these, like, what are these people doing? How are they functioning? Like, what is going on? So people start digging into Jeffree Star's past, and it starts to get very icky. Now, I did also on this channel make 2 Jeffree Star videos. One of them is Jeffree Star Cosmetics, one of them is Jeffree Star. That's the one I'll be kind of linking you guys back to. That is where I discuss all of Jeffree Star's like scandals, even the ones kind of during this time. So I'm not going to reiterate them again. Just a lot of sex related stuff, crimes of sort, racism, you know, that was kind of discussed already pre that series because it was mentioned in the first Jeffree Star series. But all the like sexually related stuff was coming to the forefront now, mainly with Davi Vanity. Around this time, people started digging into Davi Vanity because they were going through Jeffree Star's old tweets where he was at one time accusing Davi Vanity of doing things in front of Jeffree Star and then going on tour with him and being like, oh my god, me and Davi Vanity are like besties and friends, and then dropping him again. So he was basically doing the same thing that he did to James Charles. So he clearly has a bit of a thing where he will accuse someone of being a and then just go back to being friends with them, and then stop, and then being just wherever the tide goes. Like, if the person is being popular at this moment in time, he'll defend them, but if they're not being popular right now, he'll accuse them of sex crimes, essentially, allegedly, right? So that was all happening, and people were also then digging through Jeffree Star's past to notice that he was also having his own issues. Like, he would tweet about sending revenge to a massive revenge website back in the day. The guy actually behind that website ended up going to jail, and Jeffree was friends with him and would post about how he's sending stuff in about, you know, mainly straight men as well. So it's very odd that he would, you know, jump in on this bandwagon against James Charles, which turned out to be, you know, true, but he would jump in on that while also having his own skeletons in the closet, which are arguably, you know, worse, less worse. It depends how you look at it, right? There's a bit of a scale, but both equally bad. There was also a lot of content of like really drunk men around Jeffree Star that he seemed allegedly to be taken, you know, advantage of. So all of that was coming out from just his Twitter account, like just stuff confirmed by him, really. And even the CEO, like the owner of the website, the revenge porn website, he wrote in his book about Jeffree Star and being friends with him and how violent Jeffree Star was towards everyone. In the past, Shane Dawson's racism/blackface, which is racism, and other controversies were kind of swept under the rug. He made multiple apology videos because he would get called out every few years. And every few years, his fan base would say, no guys, these were just jokes, let's stop. But other than that, people, yes, were resurfacing the racism and the blackface, but people were also resurfacing very weird content around children, whether that be his own family members discussing babies being sexy in like a jokey way, but like, is it a joke? Like, it's just a bit of an odd joke to make. He used to have a podcast called Shane and Friends, and that was the main place where all of these jokes were happening as well. And his old like vlog-like content that he was making, where he would film his family members that were very young. He also had like a lot of kind of like a Discord server, but before Discord, where he would just have his fans send in really odd pictures of themselves that were kind of weird, and a lot of the fans were minors. There was also the video of him kissing a minor, like exchanging chewing gum. There's a lot there. So this was all coming out. Now we have silence until April 2020 when Jeffree Star goes on the Mum's Basement podcast with Keemstar, Banks, and Clown, or Colossus Crazy. That's how I'm going to refer to them. Keem, Banks, and Clown. So Clown was really the only one calling out the lies and the contradictions, and the rest were giving him a pass because Keem had this really weird like obsession with Jeffree Star where like Jeffree could do no wrong in his eyes. I don't know, it just felt very obsessive when you were watching it back then. Like, he was obsessed with like being friends with a billionaire. I don't know. Billionaire as well, because that was also alleged to not be true. I don't know. At 15 minutes into the podcast, they start discussing Darby Vanity and the drama and like all of that stuff. So the contradictions are that he called out Darby Vanity, said that he saw the crimes happening, then toured with him, and then called him out again. So like, once again, just doing whatever benefits him when it benefits him. And then he says that he didn't see any crimes personally, and no prosecutions were done. But like, you said you saw things. And then he tries to get around that. He's like, yeah, well, people are talking, you know, like, he tries to make these excuses that are just not valid. I don't know. So Clown immediately jumps in to say that this was super misleading. Like, why would you say that you saw a crime and then say, well, I didn't actually see a crime. I heard someone talk about seeing a crime. And like, you know, Clown was like, this doesn't make sense. It's also very misleading to say that you saw something that you didn't see. Now, they discuss Hunter Moore, the owner of the Revenge website, and Jeffree Star says that he used to lie about knowing Hunter Moore and like sending stuff in, that this was like a fun thing he did. And I noticed that Jeffree Star uses the I lied excuse whenever like there is absolutely no way to get out of a situation. Like, usually he'll be like, no, I don't lie, like I you know, I don't lie. And then when there's a situation that like absolutely has no explanation, like this stuff, like you were tweeting at a man who at the time owned a revenge website about the revenge that you were sending him, there's no way to get out of that. And then Jeffree Star pulls out the I lied card. I love lying. I lied. You can't say that you're lying every time there's no excuse for your behavior. Like, it's just, anyway. So Clown says that it's a coincidence that Jeffree Star is always friends with and he uses phrases like, it's just so bizarre. And Keemstar jumps in immediately, doesn't even let Jeffree Star speak, and just makes excuses for him. He's like, oh yeah, but there are so many predators in the industry. It's like, yeah, but not everyone is friends with all of them. Like, yeah, you might have like the one odd friendship that you're like, oh, that was rough. I'm gonna call the police and move on with my life. But like, to be friends with so many predators, so many of them, and also have your own allegations. Then they talk about James Charles. He says he has evidence but had to make peace because things were getting dark. And then Clown jumps in and says, is this another case of the other guy, where he's like, are you just like saying that you have evidence and that you're seeing stuff just like with Darby Vanity, but then you're like, no, actually, I'm gonna be friends with James now. And Banks jumps in once again. They don't let Jeffree Star speak. It's almost like he's not capable of defending himself and they know it. So Banks just jumps in and is like just defending Jeffree Star straight away. Clown then says it's similar enough and this is the exact same thing that happened before. And I completely agree. Like, one time we can be fooled. Twice, 3 times, like, how many times is this going to happen before we're like, whoa, there's a pattern of behavior here, you know? Then they start mentioning James Charles again, like kind of talking about, well, you know, you said that James is a danger to society, that he's a predator. You literally like responded to James Charles's brother on Twitter and said that he's a danger to society. He's been banned from your house. Clearly you've seen stuff to make such statements on the internet. And Jeffree Star's response to that is, Tati ruined his life. Should have never posted that video. Me and Shane are superstars in our own lane. Okay, what we're getting from this essentially, when Tati was getting all the hype during the My Sister drama, they stuck with her. When James started getting all the hype, they basically distanced themselves from Tati. That's the end of it. Like, they didn't care about allegations, they don't care about saving people, saving victims, all of this stuff. They just care about who's at the top right now that we can use and exploit for our own clout chasing. Which is why when I brought up the first Dramageddon, I said, you know, it didn't make sense to me to accuse only Manny of being a clout chaser, and that's why he got cancelled, when Jeffree Star is first of all the biggest clout chaser of them all, and at the time they were all clout chasing, so it just felt a bit weird to isolate this one person and be like, you're getting cancelled because you're a clout chaser, when they were all clout chasers and Jeffree was worse than him. Then Jeffree's like, you know, Tati took a big hit, she's still in the red, like making sure that he's letting everyone know that Tati's the one reaping the consequences. So then they start slightly defending James Charles, which is very odd to me, and Clown brings attention to the testimony, which is the voice note, and Keem jumps in and ruins it, starts making jokes, trying to, detract from the situation. Clown, once again, asks questions about the testimony. He keeps on coming back to it. It's almost like he keeps notes, and he's like, I will not let you guys throw me off balance. I will ask the questions. What's in this test? Can you tell us? Can you describe it? You'd have to play it to us. Just give us the TLDR, you know, what's in there. Jeffree Star makes a call out to James Charles that he'll show him the testimony, and I'm like, why would you go to the alleged attacker and be like, I'll show you the testimony? How about go to the police? How about ask the victim? How about warn everyone against, why are you making a call out to the person that is allegedly the attacker in this situation? And then once again finishes it off with, Tati did that, we didn't. Once again pushing all the blame on Tati. She did it. She's to blame. So then we jump to May, 15th of May to be exact, and Liam McAvoy makes 2 exposed videos that were on over 1 million views, where he exposes Jeffree Star's awful, racist, weirdly borderline illegal past from start to finish. Literally like goes on the Wayback Machine to see deleted websites, removed posts, the whole lot. So I would recommend watching those 2 videos. I'm not going to give you a TLDR of them all because 1, I already made this video about Jeffree Star, and 2, those videos are so long that we'd be here for 5 hours and I feel like I'd just be repeating myself. But just to make it clear, Jeffree Star is not looking like a very good person right now. There's stuff of revenge, a brand that he wanted to start called Lipstick with a lot of imagery, abuse, lies, etc. Now, I recommend watching both of those videos for context, and I'll link them in the description. On the 21st of June 2020, Shane Dawson breaks up with the beauty community. So he makes a tweet about the beauty community, which got a lot of backlash and started his cancellation. He then deleted it and posted another tweet saying that he deleted it because like it's getting too much negative attention. He drags the beauty community and calls it a circus, when everything he says applies to Jeffree Star the most and not really others. He discusses Tati and My Sister and how what Tati said was technically true, but it's just the way she went around it that wasn't great. People thought it was crazy that he was calling the community toxic, when 1, he so desperately wanted to be a part of the beauty community when he saw the money that was in it, and 2, the only person really making it toxic at the time was Jeffree Star. In the actual Twitter statement, he says things like, welcome to the circus, my final thoughts on the beauty world. Does admit that he knew that Tati was going to make the video. He didn't tell her to make the video, he didn't have any involvement in the video, and he didn't orchestrate it. That was like his big thing. He didn't warn James about the video. He doesn't think James is the devil, but he thinks he's a young, egocentric, power-hungry guru who needed to be served a slice of humble pie the size of the Empire State Building. But then he says that James seems to have grown since then, which like it wasn't really that much time for James to grow. Then he says that the beauty community are a bunch of talented, creative, smart people who love makeup, but they also joined a side of the internet that is obsessed with looks, money, power, fame, screenshots, and subtweets, as if none of that is directly related to Jeffree Star. Like, we can discuss how much people love being in drama and how it helps them, but we can also say that every single massive drama in the beauty community was either started or instigated in some way by Jeffree Star, and he was the main reason why people are not friends with people anymore. Releasing private text, voice memos, emails, and other receipts as a way to paint yourself in a particular light, as if Jeffree Star doesn't have a Snapchat story saying that he has receipts on everyone, and that's why no one stands up to him.
Because I have dirt on everyone, and they know to keep their mouths shut.
So go enjoy the gurus, enjoy the circus. Unsubscribe from me if you're mad that I'm no longer engaging in it. And this was really the end of Shane Dawson, because after this, it was just expose after expose after expose, and he had to post an apology only 6 days later on the 27th of June 2020. So it's a video called My leg is going completely numb. Like, I cannot feel it. He called it taking accountability with 21 million views, and the comments are turned off. He has apologized for everything in the past from fear, but this time it's different. Like, he's not doing it out of fear this time. He's doing it because he actually, I don't know, feels bad or something. If you don't accept the apology, that's okay. He first addresses the racism. He was insecure and projecting, and then he hid from it. He addressed blackface 6 years ago, but made excuses, and everyone defended him. He said that he would stop making series about white people in trouble, because that was another thing he was called out for. It was apart from just like the racism of the past and the blackface and the whole thing. He was also accused of then like only really making series with problematic white people to try and give them a second, third, fourth, or 10th chance. You know, Tana Mojo, Jake Paul, Jeffree Star. Like, the whole thing is like taking white YouTubers who are the villains of the community and trying to make everyone pity them. And he says that from now on, he'll make stories about black people and you know, like try and uplift black people and discuss black stories in his series. And since then, he's only ever done like a conspiracy series and then another Jeffree Star series. So another white person to make us pity or something. So that was a complete blatant lie. And the reason why he made that tweet was because people were making theories about Shane Dawson orchestrating by sisters, so he thought he would just distance himself from the community that he was never really a part of. But he says that he loves the beauty community and he doesn't agree with this tweet anymore. This was only 6 days later, bear in mind. 3 days later, Tati posts breaking my silence, and this really was something. This video since has been deleted, but in the first minute she mentions legal counsel, which really like blew us all away. Like, the fact that someone was mentioning finally some kind of legal situation happening was interesting. She says that she's very emotional and says that she missed us, will give us reasons for why she couldn't post, says that when one person has another opinion, the tide turns very quickly, the bandwagon mentality, like everyone was on her side until people weren't. I was listening to the wrong people. She has been getting relentless hate that affected her life, business, health, and relationships. Her and James Charles met up and compared DMs and notes and have forgiven each other, which this was really where like I'm gonna put pin here, because Tati was, you know, blindly following different allegations back and forth. But to be honest, her first video really didn't lie. Like, that was true, because since this drama, so many allegations have come out against James Charles, which that's a whole separate video in itself, all the allegations against James Charles. But there are countless men and boys who have come out to say how uncomfortable they have been made by James Charles. I now, looking at this whole drama with that in my mind, like, I can't shake the feeling that yes, Tati was right. She just did it for the wrong reasons. She did it because he was selling the wrong vitamins. That was not the reason to come out with the information, but the information wasn't wrong. It was just said with the wrong intention, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. He wanted to be a part of the video and she wanted to do it alone. She's sorry to James Charles, which is now unwarranted, like I said, because more victims have come out against him. But she couldn't have known that back then. But since then, more victims have come out, who I completely believe. And James Charles has posted 2 apology videos that he's now deleted, basically saying that the reason why he has these victims is because he's desperate. And then he deleted those videos because that didn't look good and it looked like an admission that could be used against him in court. She said that she never called him a predator. She didn't make a video because of vitamins, but because of lies from Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. She was not sued, but deleted the video because YouTube asked her to at 50 million views because it was a bad look for the website. She met Jeffree Star in 2017 and he made some progress because at the time everyone was warning her to not hang out with him because he's a bad person, but she didn't listen to it. And mainly people like Jackie Aina were speaking out as well, who she basically shut down and said, no, he's fine. You're just like angry and jealous that I'm friends with him. And she makes an apology to Jackie Aina for that because she was just hoping that she could be a good influence to him, which some people just are never going to change. So, you know, she learned that lesson the hard way. In 2018, she saw Dramageddon 1 from the sidelines and should have known that she would be treated the same as all of them. So I'm going to link back to my Dramageddon 1 video. They only met up a few times and would go months without communication, and he would only really reach out when he was in drama or had a launch that she would have to promote. He would make comments about blackmail he had on YouTubers and brand owners that could destroy them and the industry. She thought he would go off and says that we need to forgive the people that are being held hostage or it won't stop. Be prepared to not cancel people. It's not right to trap people into saying things they don't want to say. Which is where people thought that maybe he, you know, the clip of himself saying that he has drama and scandals against people because, and that's why they don't speak out against him, makes me think that he has like cameras in his house or something. I don't know. It sounded really dramatic at the time, but he didn't really come out with anything. So Jeffree Star would continue to talk about James Charles to Tati, which Tati thought was just pure jealousy. He then introduced Shane Dawson to Tati and said that Tati would be involved in their most recent series, which never happened, that she wishes she had educated herself on Shane Dawson's past. Shane Dawson came over and they discussed deep things from her life, including SA, which is easy manipulation regarding James Charles's alleged crimes. If you can see that someone went through a very similar thing, it's very easy to manipulate them, that someone else is doing that to other people. Shane Dawson offered to edit, tag, and thumbnail and do all of that with the Bye Sister video. There is a voice note that Jeffree Star mentioned in Mom's Basement podcast that she has also heard, and that's really what pushed her to make the Bye Sister video. After Bye Sister, Shane Dawson offered to see Tati and film it. She said no, like film the outcome of the video, like how she's feeling, yada yada, and she said no. No victims came out like they said they would, so apparently Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson came to her and said, you know, if you post this Bye Sister video, more victims are going to come out and we're going to take him down. But no victims came out, so she was really just like the lone allegation, lone wolf for the time being. And then now we know with perspective and time that about a year later, James Charles started getting more allegations made against him. She asked for it to not be involved in the series, but he never responded after he posted the trailer, which was purely just like the Bye Sister drama in the trailer. And Tati was afraid for her life and relocated multiple times. This is when she started moving away from LA, and the timeline becomes really messy because she goes from like LA, Seattle, Texas, Florida, Seattle, like she keeps on moving back and forth, which is why I was so confused in the Tati video and I misspoke and then everyone tried to correct me. Thank you guys. So now she posted this on the 30th of June, and on the 30th of June, Shane Dawson does a live stream where he's reacting to Tati's video live as she's posted it.
So sure. Oh, of course. Is that another ad? Another ad. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. This is so f***ed. This is, oh my God. Okay. I'm live because I can't even process. I need a drink of water. I can't process this. This is insane. This is insane. This is insane. This woman is a oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to wait till as many people get in here as possible because I'm losing my mind. Keep playing it. Keep playing it.
I didn't even know I was making a video. So how is it that so many editorial outlets knew that something was coming before I had...
Because you message drama channels. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I struggled with the decision
Oh my
to
God.
film my video for days. The night before I did film, Jeffree sent me what he claimed was an audio file from an alleged victim and told me to listen to the pain in their voice. The audio was clearly a small portion of
my
the
God.
conversation. It wasn't enough for me to contact the authorities. It was enough to scare me.
Well, then why would you make a video on the matter claiming these allegations?
Because she is a I can't. I don't want to say mean things about people. This is insane. This is insane. This person literally, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. Keep pressing play. I need to get through this video so I can, oh my God.
As a victim of abuse myself,
Oh my God.
terrified
You are so manipulative.
to think of facing public.
You're fake crying. You are fake crying. You are fake crying. That is not real. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Place to contact authorities.
Oh my God.
It was not my
Oh my God.
place.
I have been, oh my God.
Victim.
That is not,
And I made no mention of it in my video.
oh my God.
Get off.
The night before posting my video by sister,
Oh my God.
I texted Shane sharing my concerns for James Charles, that he was out of the country on the high floor of a hotel and I was afraid for him.
That was really the nail in the coffin for his career at the time. It was not a good look. And he cuts the live stream like as he notices that he's getting too emotional. Now, 10th of July, Morphe drops Jeffree Star, which is like a massive deal because obviously they were such a big part of selling the Conspiracy palette and the Conspiracy collection, right? So like I said, I posted 2 Jeffree Star videos. I kind of discuss why all of this happened in that video. A lot of allegations started resurfacing and then just surfacing. So there's an article by Distractify called "Why Did Morphe Drop Jeffree Star? It seems his past has finally caught up with him," where Morphe makes a statement saying, "Today we've made the decision to cease all commercial activity related to Jeffree Star and affiliated product. We expect this to conclude within the coming weeks. As we look to the future, we'll continue to share updates on what lies ahead for the Morphe brand." Jeffree Star Cosmetics posts, "Hey Star family, we are shocked and extremely saddened by the decision of our former retail partner Morphe Brushes on parting ways with our brand and Jeffree. Over the past 5 years, we've accomplished amazing things together and released iconic product. We are proud of everything we've accomplished with them. What's next? We have an incredible remainder of 2020 planned and are excited to share our new products with you and our partners around the world. We know our customers will continue to create, inspire, and push boundaries of our art. Love you so much, Jeffree." And they talk about how, you know, there are old videos of Jeffree and Shane making racist remarks as well as sexually charged weird remarks that clearly have caught up. And then there's Tati's video called "Breaking My Silence," during which she claims Jeffree and Shane manipulated her into posting her bi-sister video on James Charles, and that was really, you know, the end of it. 19th of July, which was just over a week later, Jeffree posts his "Doing What's Right" video on the gold ugly couch with 13 million views, comments turned off. He says that he had time to reflect, unlike usual when he acts out of impulse and anger. He mentions "Never Doing This Again," which was the video that he made during Dramageddon 2.0, will not be bringing receipts, and indirects Tati with the, you know, when she said we have to forgive people that he blackmails, and he says, "I'm not going to be blackmailing anyone, I don't have any blackmail on anyone," but he literally says himself that he has blackmail on people.
Because I have dirt on everyone, and they know to keep their mouths shut.
So I think the only reason he's not using it now is because this would be a bad look for him. Like, no one would take him seriously and no one would actually cancel these people, so it'd be like a waste of blackmail. Allegedly, don't sue me. He brings up lawyers, probably as a response to Tati, just to like try and scare her because she brought up legal counsel first. He didn't try to take anyone down. He got caught up in the hype, believed people, and didn't call James Charles, and he's sorry. Now, what about the voice note that Jeffree Star has been parading around? Like, he's saying sorry to James Charles because he believed people, but he's the one with the voice note that he's parading around. So he used BLM as a distraction during this because this was kind of around the time of BLM, and he used this as a distraction from people rightfully criticizing him, where he mentions Elijah McClain, and that name was actually added in post-production, which you can, allegedly, which you can hear because it's a completely different echo. So I'm pretty sure he either pronounced it wrong, and that would look like he doesn't actually care. So he kind of like re-recorded it and put it over the initial recording.
And I think that James and myself and anyone involved would agree with me that there are way bigger issues happening on this planet. I know that some people may, Jeffree, you're just saying this as a distraction. Jeffree, no. Breonna Taylor still has no justice. Black trans women are being murdered every day and the news is silent.
Elijah McClain
has no justice, and the countless other people who are murdered every single day while everyone just goes about their business.
And this is like always, he will use like, let's focus on more important issues. While he's being called out for being very problematic, he'll be like, let's focus, there are more important issues. And at the time it was BLM that he used as, you know, a distraction. Hey, let's focus on this instead of me, even though he made racist remarks in the past. So it's all linked, right? He defends Shane Dawson and says that he won't abandon him. He starts discussing how inclusive his makeup line is, from models to shade ranges, which is like just an ad for his makeup line. And then he says that when shade ranges were bad, he was the first one to call them out, as if there weren't black beauty influencers and other influencers who would call out brands that don't cater towards them, right? But he's like, he loves taking credit for things, you know, he's like the savior. He's like, no, I was calling them out. It's like, okay, sure. And then he says that he'll be back with new products soon. Like, that's just so ridiculous to put in a video like this. Then on the 30th of October, Emily D. Baker posts her first video on the Tati Halo Beauty Swanson situation, and that's a whole separate issue. Basically, Clark Swanson, who was Tati's business partner for Halo Beauty, ended up suing her because apparently she was trying to push him out the brand and she didn't include him in Tati Beauty because that was done with Seed Beauty. So he was pushed out of that deal, which she said that she never promised him that deal. So he sued her, and then she sued him, countersued him, because apparently he was going to Without a Crystal Ball and other drama channels and telling them dirt and drama, both true and untrue, about Tati and the business, which was actually ruining the business and destroying it. So they were just all suing each other, and those lawsuits are still actually going on to this day. Tati Beauty actually closed in November 2021, which is interesting because both Dramageddons ended in November, so it seems like November's a really weird time. So that's really it for Dramageddon. Obviously, after all of this, James Charles had more allegations against him, and that all happened. But that was really it. Since then, they have not talked to each other. Like, James and Tati reconciled during this drama, but since then, they have not been seen together at all. So I think when the new allegations came out, she was like, I was right then, wasn't I? Since then, Tati has come back to the internet, but her presence on the internet is very strange to me. It feels very Facebook mum, just believing weird conspiracy theories. I actually filmed a video on it, so if you guys want to watch that, that's fine. James has been accused time and time again, posted apologies, deleted apologies, the whole thing, and now he's on his way to making his own makeup line. Jeffree is leaving YouTube, and Dawson has a podcast that he's focusing on where he's working again with someone who was also an accused offender. So it all is full circle on this channel. Subscribe to the bell, like, comment for engagement, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.